Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Thursday, June 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Pittsburgh Pirates vs Miami Marlins. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 34-40 overall this season. They are currently in 4th place in the National League Central Division. They are 5.5 games out of first place, which is held by the Reds. The Pirates led the division 2 weeks ago, but since then, they have lost 10 straight games entering Friday night. The Pirates have been swept in their last 3 series. In their last game, they were defeated by the Marlins by a final score of 6-4 on Thursday, June 22. The Pirates led 4-1 entering the 8th inning, but they blew the and allowed the Marlins to win. Henry Davis and Ke'Bryan Hayes hit home runs in the loss. The Marlins are 43-33 overall this season. They are currently in 2nd place in the National League East Division. Miami is 6 games back of first place, which is held by the Braves. The Marlins have won 6 of their last 8 games entering Friday night. In their latest game, they defeated the Pirates 6-4 on Thursday, June 22. Garrett Cooper hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, which helped the team take the lead and clinch the win for the Marlins. Braxton Garrett pitched 7 innings and allowed 3 total hits. He also struck out 13 batters in the win. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been in a slump lately, losing 10 straight games heading into Friday's matchup. Their starting pitcher, Ortiz, has not been great on the road, with an ERA of 5.50. The Pirates are also struggling to hit home runs, which is important in South Florida. They rank 7th lowest in the league in home runs. The Miami Marlins, on the other hand, have been playing well. They have won 6 of their last 8 games. The Marlins also have the 8th best hitting percentage in the league, which will give them an advantage against Ortiz. Luzardo, the Marlins starting pitcher, is 9-5 this year, and the Marlins are 9-5 when he pitches. Based on this information, it is likely that the Marlins will win on Friday. I recommend taking the Marlins to cover. The offenses have been poor this season as whole for the Marlins and the Pirates. They both rank the bottom third of runs scored, and they will struggle to string together hits on Friday night. The under is 4-1 in the Pirates' last 5 overall. The under is 4-1 in the Marlins' last 5 Friday games. Take the under on Friday. Kansas City Royals vs Tampa Bay Rays. Kansas City enters this game having lost their previous series on the road against the Tigers and having won the first game of their current 3-game series against the Rays. In their most recent 6-5 win, Jose Cuas got the start for the Royals but performed as an opener, allowing 2 runs in 1.1 innings work. The Royals then used 6 different pitchers, which resulted in Aroldis Chapman getting the win in the 8th and Scott Barlow getting the save in the 9th. On the offensive end, the Royals totaled 9 hits and 6 runs in the game. Michael Garcia, MJ Melendez, and Drew Waters all had multi-hit games for the Royals, with Waters having the team's only home run on the night. Overall, it was a great win, as I'm sure not many thought they would win against the league's best team. Tampa Bay enters this game having split their previous 2-game series against the Orioles and having lost the first game of their current 3-game series against the Royals. In their most recent 6-5 loss, Shane McClanahan got the start for the Rays and threw 3.2 innings, in which he allowed 4 hits that resulted in 2 runs. From then on, it was a bullpen game for the Rays, with Jason Adam blowing the lead in the 7th and 8th, leaving Pete Fairbanks to get the loss in the 9th. On the offensive end, the Rays totaled 10 hits and 5 runs in the game. Yandy Diaz and Randy Arozarena both went 3-5, with Diaz having 2 runs scored and Arozarena having 3 RBIs. Overall, it was a tough loss for the Rays as their bullpen fell apart in front of them. The Tampa Bay Rays are the heavy favorites to win tonight's game against the Kansas City Royals. The Rays are starting Eflin, who has been solid this season, while the Royals are starting Greinke, who has struggled. The Rays' bullpen also has a slight edge over the Royals' bullpen. In addition to the starting pitching matchup, the Rays have a better recent history against the Royals. The Royals are 0-4 in Greinke's past 4 starts after allowing 5 or more runs, and the Royals are 4-11 in their past 15 meetings in Tampa Bay. Based on these factors, I am confident that the Rays will win tonight's game by more than 1 run. The total for tonight's game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Kansas City Royals is set at 8 runs. While the majority of trends are indicating the under, I believe the over is the better play. The Rays and Royals went over in the first game of the series last night, and I expect them to do so again tonight. Greinke and Eflin are both starting pitchers who have struggled this season, and I expect both teams to score early and often. The Rays' offense is also a major reason why I am taking the over. The Rays have gone over in their past 4 games overall and in their past 4 games following a loss. I expect them to continue their hot streak tonight and help push the total over 8 runs. Based on these factors, I am confident that the over will hit in tonight's game. Atlanta Braves vs Cincinnati Reds. What a season it has been in Atlanta for the Braves, who are looking to win their second World Series in the last 3 years. Atlanta comes into this massive series against the red-hot Reds, owning the best record in the National League at 48-26. Like the Reds, the Braves are scorching hot right now and have won 8 in a row entering the weekend. The Braves lineup has been the best in the NL so far this year, pushing 404 runners across home through their first 74 games, good for an average of 5.5 per game. Atlanta has taken it to another level lately, however, as they have been averaging a whopping 8.1 runs per game during this current 8-game winning streak. Led by their stars like Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, and Ozzie Albies, the Braves lineup is dangerous at all times. The Braves lineup is not the only thing they do well in Atlanta though, as the Braves have allowed the 4th fewest runs in all of baseball, something they will be hoping to continue on Friday, facing off against arguably the hottest team and one of the best lineups in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Reds are the hottest team in baseball right now, and Great American Ballpark is the place to be these days. The Reds have rattled off 11 straight wins entering this series and have seized control of the division lead in the NL Central over the Brewers. The Reds have been bolstered recently by some of their young stars, including the arrival of baseball's #1 overall prospect in the big leagues recently in Elly De La Cruz. Like the Braves, Cincinnati has one of the best lineups in the league, having scored 362 runs so far in 2023, an average of 4.8 on the year. The Reds have kicked it up a notch during this win streak, putting up an average of 6.2 runs per game over their last 11 now. The return of Joey Votto to the lineup for the first time this season has also been a nice boost for the Reds, who were already in the middle of their run when Votto returned. As good as the Reds have been, facing off against such a tough opponent in Atlanta, Cincinnati will be hoping for a strong pitching performance on Friday. I am betting on the Cincinnati Reds to win their 12th consecutive game against the Atlanta Braves on Friday. This series is one of the most anticipated of the season, and I believe the Reds have the momentum to win. The Reds have been on a tear lately, and their lineup is as hot as it has been all season. Joey Votto has returned from injury and is hitting like his old self, and the team has also received contributions from its young prospects. The Braves are a good team, but I believe the Reds have the edge in this matchup. Luke Weaver has not been good this season, but his high strikeout numbers could be a factor. The inexperience of Smith Shawver could also be a weakness for the Braves. 2 of the best defenses in baseball will square off on Friday night in Cincinnati. The Reds have won 11 straight games, while the Braves have won 8 in a row. Both teams are averaging over 6 runs per game during their recent hot streaks. The Reds will be starting veteran Luke Weaver, who has struggled this season. The Braves will be starting rookie Spencer Strider, who has been very impressive in his first few starts. With 2 struggling pitchers on the mound and 2 high-power defenses, there is a good chance that this game will be a high-scoring affair. The over-under is set at 10.5 runs, and I believe that there is a good chance that it will be hit.